Okay, here we're going to start laying out the leaves. And basically very similar to kind of a feather shape. And also it depends on what type of species of flower you want to go for. Also, I think for next time, I'm going to not completely paint the leaves green, because by the time a plant is normally flowering, it's coming to the end of its life cycle. So the leaves of the plant are also can start to yellow a little bit, and I think for next time, I really like the look that they had with the yellow tipped leaves. Later on in this example, I do end up painting them completely green, but next time I think I'm going to leave them. I really like that kind of the dying tips, so to speak. And here I'm just using the back of the razor knife to press into the foam core board to give the shape of the rib of the leaf. And then I'm just with a simple pencil, and you could use a colored pencil as well. But here I'm just going to draw in some veins of the leaves a little bit, just to give it a little bit more of an accent. And again, this is sped up. It's very important to make sure you wait until your paint that you're using is completely dry and that the leaves are dry, because if you try and hold on to them when they're wet from paint, they're just going to rip on you. So this is sped up, but it does take a little bit of time. So now what I've basically done is I've pinched the end of the leaf, the very, very end, and I've got a tiny drop of CA glue in there, and I just want that pinched end of the leaf to just wrap around the end of the wire and create as small of a transition as possible between the stem and the leaf. It won't matter if there is a bump, because when we use our magic baking soda here, you can see that it will kind of bump up all on its own. You don't really have to touch it. And it will, here I'm gonna press to kind of accentuate it as much as possible to get a groove in there. And then I'll pinch it. And then a tiny bit of glue. Now here, this does take some patience. Even sometimes with the baking soda, you'll try and get two pieces to stick together, and of course you don't want it to stick to the board that you're working on, and you don't want it to stick to the end of your finger, which it loves to do. But sometimes it just will not stick for anything. I'm not quite sure. Maybe somebody out there knows the reason for that. But sometimes the CA glue, it just will not kick off, and you just have a 5-minute fight on your hands trying to reapply glue and baking soda to get it to stick. Here I've got my giant thumb in the way. And you see there's kind of a bump, like a drip from it, and that isn't necessarily that bad. Once you add the baking soda to it, it can look natural. I think I'm gonna knock it off. It's a little bit too high. And here I'm just trying to bend it into a basic shape. One thing you'll notice with most plants is where there's a node, the stem usually changes a little bit its direction. So you'll have a node and then usually a leaf growing from a node, and then the stem continues on, and it never continues, well, and with most plants, it never continues completely straight. It usually changes course just a little bit, and that, if you do that, that will give it a little bit more of a natural look. And here I'm just gently opening the petals of the flower up. You can keep a few of them closed so that it also looks a little bit more natural as well. Basically it. These are a lot of fun to make, and you can see there in that flower that's right out in front how thick the node is. The drop of CA glue and then baking soda, it gave it a very nice transition between the leaf and the stem. So I hope you guys have a lot of fun with this. I look forward to hearing your questions in the comments. Please like and subscribe. See you next week.